Welcome, King Lizzard, Xbox One and Project Cars. So this is basically a extremely long wait, this game, to turn up on Xbox One, and a bit of mixed emotions about this game. A lot of people I saw in various groups that I'm a member of, on Facebook and various other social media sites, probably a good 25% of the people that bought this game at launch were very upset with it. Quite a number of those even communicated that they took the game back. Now, I can kind of understand some of those frustrations. It is quite a difficult game to get going. And I'll be honest, I was quite disappointed. I know it's a sim, so don't get me wrong. I was expecting a sim when I bought this game. I must admit I wasn't quite expecting what I experienced. The real problem with this game is getting a working controller configuration. Not a setup for a car or anything like that, which is what I thought would be the problem with this game. It's actually the controller is the problem. So getting the controller set up for the Xbox One console is an extremely difficult process to get a reliable configuration that works with all car classes and stuff. It took me around 5 hours. I searched the internet, grabbed some controller configs from the sites, tried those, didn't work, drove me crazy. Eventually originally I loaded the game, installed it on Pro mode, because I normally drive very hard in all racing games that I drive. This one obviously is now the exception, because what I had to do in the end was, I deleted my save data after playing quite a few hours, started again in amateur, found that was just giving me a nightmare, so I thought out of interest I'd drop all the way back down to the lowest mode. And even in the lowest mode, the cars just weren't handling, they were a bloody nightmare. So I went back up to amateur, and then I just messed with the settings until I got something that kind of worked for me. And this PAGANI Zonda race PAGANI Zonda R, I should say, is the very first race I actually managed to get a position, e.g. finish a race, and do reasonably well through the race. I did make some mistakes. I do have full damage on, I also have tyre wear and full fuel. I'm running at 50% difficulty here, so it's a tough game, to be honest. I mean, in this point I'm actually out in front. I do spend a lot of time out in front in this particular race. I do make some mistakes a little bit later on that kind of cost me some handling and stuff, but it's an absolutely beautiful game. Graphically it's very impressive. It's got some very stunning vistas and stuff, a lot of real world tracks. I absolutely love this California highway that we're driving here. It's a good almost 12-mile piece of track, and the cars are absolutely fantastic. The replays are fantastic. When you're driving in car, you kind of envision yourself driving what you're supposed to be driving. Characteristically the cars are very different from one another, but it's just a shame that they didn't have the foresight to obviously realise this is a console game. Having to set up tunes and car configs and stuff is an acceptable thing, but having to actually get the game to work with the generic controller that comes with the console is quite ridiculous. And I think a very bad move from the developer's perspective. They should have had a default configuration that worked out the box in terms of handling these cars and stuff. It's quite ridiculous that you have to mess around with controllers in the first place. Have a working configuration and then let people tweak accordingly, but don't leave it up to us to try and get it to work at all from day one. That said, now I'm getting into this game, I really do love the racing, and You know me, I like to watch my replays. The thing I found interesting is I took some quite bad damage in some of the races that I did do, and kind of at some point during the race I kind of regained parts of my car that I'd lost before. So it's a bit of a strange thing that it does. Probably some bugs I can iron out hopefully. But you know, graphically it is, like I said, phenomenal. Driving the cars, I mean, it is really, really tough racing races. You don't get much tougher than this, and if you watch my channel regularly, you know that I drive unbeatable AI in Forza 5, I drive professional AI in Forza 4, which is the hardest AI, and obviously in Forza 3 when I used to play that, well, I haven't recorded any vids for this channel, because I don't have that game anymore, but you know, I generally will drive the hardest mode possible, purely because I like the challenge more than anything else. I find generally that most driving games are just too easy on most modes, or the normal modes, or the hard modes. I find I just need to go one step further to make it more interesting and exciting, really. So in this case, originally I started out at 70%, nice big old jump there, I started out at 70% difficulty, and I was kind of getting 8s and 9s. It was just really tough race. I found also with this game that a lot of people were saying the AI is really good. I personally have not experienced that. I have seen some stuff that I thought was clever, but in pro mode the cars are literally you know, you're struggling to keep the car on the track, but the cars are actually taking me out a lot of the time, in a bad way. I've got friends that claim that, you know, they weren't experiencing that, but I sure as hell was. So I was pretty disappointed to have that AI experience as well. But that said, you know, there are pros and cons about any game title, and to be honest, I do love this game. I'm starting to get used to it and really enjoying it. I've got a number of videos to post on here for Project Cars. A bit of first impression video this as well, more than anything else, being the first Project Car post. But I managed to limp into 4th place here after taking a bit of damage from my car during the race. So I'll take this opportunity to thank you guys for watching. I do have an in-car version of this, so when I'm actually driving live, which I'll be posting as well, and you can take the pit or even jump in the in-car and take a look as well. Plus lots of multi-view videos coming from outside car and vice versa. Please remember to rate, and if you're not a subscriber, don't be shy, click that sub button.